Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mark Gizzle here. I'm here to talk to you about Need for Speed Most Wanted. Yes, I still have it on the PS2. Who doesn't have it? This was the greatest racing game, I personally think, ever made for the PS2. With me, this game, I just clicked. It's like when you meet the one. I haven't met the one yet, but I'm sure when I do, she's going to click like I did with this game because I figured out how I could beat the game. You start me right now in the story mode. In a matter of 5 hours, I will be in the final race going against Razor before you do the police chase. I played this so much, and I figured out the best cars to use. The secret shortcuts, and the one highway around the stadium, where the one exit was the baseball stadium, and then the other exit was to another highway. I know that highway right there went around and around, and you get on that. You could do an entire police chase. I remember I did one for like 4 hours. I got like, I believe it was like 250,000 in bounty, like what you need to get to Razor. And I did it on number 15 in Sony. I just went around and around. It took like 5 hours, but and then when you exited, you had the roadblock, the baseball stadium, and you would easily. And then there was a hiding spot right below the stadium. I'm sorry, around the stadium. And then it was like that, bam. I figured out this game. It was so much fun. You could customize the cars. I'm so glad that they're remaking it. I I got the text. My friend texted me yesterday. He said, they're remaking Need for Speed, and I said, no way. I couldn't believe it. So I googled it. I was at work, and it said Most Wanted it's official. They're remaking it. And then like at 9 o'clock at work, I get the email from EA saying the Most Wanted is coming back. Pre-order now for your exclusive. You can get a Porsche 911, I think, or a Maserati something. I don't like Maseratis in real life or in games because you can do so much more with money. So I definitely picked the Porsche. But so I went to GameStop today, pre-ordered this and Black Ops 2. The guy goes, okay, I can put you down for Black Ops 2, but Need for Speed is not showing up yet. It's like, well, I don't understand that because I can pre-order it right now through the email. He goes, well, it just hasn't updated, so he made me pre-order NASCAR. Like, I don't like NASCAR. No, I don't want that. He goes, well, we'll just do that excuse me, until Need for Speed shows up, and then we'll get you switched over. So I'm like, okay, that's fine, whatever. And so, I want to talk about this game and how they can, things that I liked, things that I didn't like, how they can improve it. Things that I liked was what I want to say the markers you got when you beat people. Like it, it really the first 5 people really didn't matter, but like when you got to Baron, I know I would restart if I didn't get his Porsche from him because that Porsche, the first time I ever played this game back in 2005, I whooped everybody's ass with that Porsche. Like when you souped that up, I thought it was the best car in the game. That was the first time I played. When you first play a game, you don't go into it in detail. You don't figure out all the best parts to do. And my first PS2 was the big fat one. I remember one day, I want to say we're in like maybe freshman in high school. We're playing baseball in the house. Like bat, we thought it was a great idea, and I was the batter. We were using wiffle balls. I don't know. It had to be a heavy ball. I don't remember, but I remember I slapped this line drive. PS3 was up on a bookshelf with the TV. Went right into the PS2. I'm sorry, PS2, and it fell and just shattered. I was okay. I want to say it was 6th grade because I didn't have a job. Well, I didn't have a job when I was a freshman either. But I had gotten that PS2 for Christmas. And that was I was heartbroken. And my dad tried to fix it, and we had it for like 2 years, and there's nothing nobody could do. GameStop couldn't fix it. I was heartbroken. So my dad said, if I wanted another one, I had to save up my money. Which I'm 13, 12 years old. Who saves up their money? Who has a job to begin with? So I remember like I went like 6 months without anything. Well, I had Game Boy. That's right when. Yeah, that first PS2 time I had Need for Speed Underground 2, and that game I liked that game not as much as Most Wanted. I have a major difference, but I remember, yeah. So I still had the games, but I didn't have PS2. And my neighbors, like 6 months later, gave me an old GameCube they had. You know, and they gave me like Super Mario Sunshine. Uh, they didn't give me Super Smash Bros. But all these other little kiddie games. So Nintendo has always been little kiddie games. You know, except for Pokemon. 'Cause, you know, Pokemon is for champs. Like, I'm 21 years old. I still play Pokemon. But like, and I remember I had that for like a month. And then, you know, I had this great idea. I saved some money up, and I knew I could get trade-in for that, so I used I had the GameCube they gave me, and like 5 games. I traded that in for the slim PS2. And I remember I was so proud of myself for like being a business adventurer at such a young age. And I remember they were pissed. They came over one day and said, "Where's our GameCube?" And I said, "Oh, I traded in for the PS2." And they were so pissed at me, like, "You know what? You gave me the GameCube to do whatever I want. You can't be pissed at me." And that was a slim PS2, and I kept that for like 4 years. And then we moved, and I remember that's right when the PS3 came out. And so the GameStop, you know, they always do that. If you have the old system, we'll give you so much off the new system. And I used my PS2 to get my PS3. I wish I mean, now that I have a job, I can keep them when I get a new system, but I didn't have that luxury in high school or junior high. And so that's how I lost that PS2. But I bought the PS3, then I bought Modern Warfare 1 and 2, you know, 3 years in, and 2 got me in trouble because I played it too much. And it's a long story, but I was in this epic search and destroy match, and my dad pissed me off, and I threw the PS3. Well, I didn't break it, but I broke the controller because he pissed me off. But I went off Facebook. I was like, "Who wants a PS3?" My friend was like, "I'll give you so much." I think I sold like $200 to him, and I sold that to him. You know, I mean, you see my Call of Duty videos. I am a natural athlete with Call of Duty, and every day went a year and 2 months without it. And every day I thought about Call of Duty. You know, I would go to my friend's house and play on their Xbox. It's like, I don't like Xbox. Nothing about the platform, the controllers. I'm a PlayStation person. And every day I thought about PS3. You know, PS3. And finally, like I've had my new one now for like 6 months. 6 months ago, I get an email from GameStop, $150 off. The 80 gig. I don't know. 120 gigabyte PS3. Now I was like, that's it. Cha-ching. I didn't need the coupon. I had the money, but I was like, I can't pass that up. So I got another PS3, and I have been. It's so good to be back. I mean, it was so hard without video games. But back to Need for Speed Most Wanted. You know, I bought about 3 months ago. I'm revisiting my childhood. You know, I recently just bought a DS, and the one that you could play the Game Boy Advance games on. I was playing Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, which was out at the same time that this game was. So I remember we used to go to school. In junior high, we had the choice of taking karate instead of PE, and my parents signed me up for that because both my older brothers had to take that for self-defense, you know. And on Fridays, we would spar, which is like fighting, but they made us wear this like protective gear and shit. And I remember she said if you sweat, she kicked you out. So, I mean, this only worked for 3 weeks before she figured out what we were doing. But we would bring our, you know, Game Boy Advances with Pokemon and bring our Pokemon cards, and we would spar right off the bat and get kicked out. And so we'd go sit in the locker room and play with our Game Boys. You know, I mean, it was epic. 45 minutes of being in school and playing Pokemon. And then, you know, we'd come home and we played Need for Speed. Like, I still remember some of the chases. I mean, I had good times playing this game. I'm just ecstatic that they're remaking it. And, yes, I am enjoying a Stella Artois. I don't know, Belgian beer. It's pretty damn good. I bought it because all my friends like it. It's pretty good. But, yeah, so I remember, I mean, we would run home to play Need for Speed. That's how good it was. That's what I miss about being a kid. That's why I guess I'm having a midlife crisis at age 21 because I'm going back to my childhood. But I mean, the games we had as kids were. I'm very happy. I mean, we were so lucky to get what we got as a kid. And you know, I mean, I still play this game. In fact, the other day, me and my friend, he did it as the Carrera GT, which I found out is what I thought was fastest car in the game. And I know the Lotus, which was horrible. I mean, they are so fast, and in the game, it's just, I mean, it's like driving a smart car. Like, we did a race. The race was the entire map, and I had the Lotus, and he had the Carrera GT. But I mean, I have logged like hours and hours on this game, both on the PC and the PS2, and I whooped his ass. I mean, we did two races. One I had the Carrera, and one he had the Lotus. And of course, I whooped his ass with that, but I had the Lotus, and he had the Carrera, and I beat him so bad. I mean, I should have been one of the riders of this game because I figured out all the secrets, and I still love playing it. The fact that they're remaking it is wonderful. I mean, I had to pre-order it today. I can't wait till October because I I want to see what they do different because I knew there were things like in this game and this game you can take cars off these jumps and land on a highway. Like, you can't do that. And it's just, I know they're both things you can do in the games are unreal, but that is just, I mean, you go take a little BMW and fly off a highway, everything's going to bust. Like, it's, I want to see, I know I saw in the action trailer they had F-150s racing. Like, I remember in Underground 2 they had the Hummers and the Escalades, big ass SUVs. I figured out the drag races. They were always the biggest problem I had with Underground 2, but if you used an Escalade or a Hummer, it was so easy. Like, I don't know why I found that out, but they didn't have any SUVs in Most Wanted. But I know, like, when you face the blacklist racers, especially Razor, like when you have this car, this BMW is not the fastest car in the game. And it pisses me off that I wish I could have, I found out like certain cars like the Aston Martin and what else? I know the Aston Martin was one for sure. Oh, and the Ford GT. Those cars were not made for the races in the game. They were made for the police chase, especially that Aston Martin. If you got Ronnie's Aston Martin, man, you were set the next two bounty things because you could take on like level 5 cops with that. I do believe on my PC I have the black version and then my PS2 is the regular one. So you could do level 6 on the black version. But I mean the Ford and the Lambos too I think were good. They were alright for police chases, but I know Ronnie's Aston Martin, like I racked up so much bounty with that car. And that I want to say how Grand Theft Auto is more realistic driving-wise than Need for Speed because in Grand Theft Auto, you run into somebody, they have immediate damage in the back, you're in front, depending on where you hit them, and you keep running into people, and your car starts to smoke, and then flames pop out, and you have to take off running because the car's about to explode. Like, I would like to see that in Need for Speed because you can't in Need for Speed. You run into people, and they just move like. Where do you drive that these cars are made out of steel and nothing happens, I want to see them fix that. But one thing I also like in Grand Theft Auto, like, if you I know I was doing like 100 and some, flying down this bridge, and this like taxi cab cuts me off. I flew through that windshield. Like, you never even got to get out of your car in this game. I want to see, like, I want to make it like Tony Hawk. Yeah, like Tony Hawk, you get off your board. It took like 5 games to get off your board, but I know when they talked about, the guy at GameStop said they're making an open world like it was in Underground 2. Like, I loved all the maps in Most Wanted, There was nothing wrong with that, but I would like to see, who the actual player is. You only saw your guy like 4 times in the entire whole game. You saw that Mia chick more. Like, she ain't even the main character, Like, I want to see who I am. I want to see my guy get out of the car and walk around, like, in Grand Theft Auto. I really hope that they change that. But, like, I get back to the BMW. When Razor has that BMW and you have to do the 6 races or 7 races against him, I mean, I remember the first time I did it back in '05. I got Barron's Porsche, the number 10 blacklist guy, and that car, I whooped everybody's ass with that. I mean, I thought that was the fastest car in the game. And when I went up against Razor, it took me like 3 days for Razor because I mean, he's such a little bitch. I mean, you hit one bump and your car stops, and then he goes like 500 feet ahead of you. It's like that damn BMW is not that fast, and I really don't like that they give you that BMW in the most epic final chase, you know, because that car, I would rather have the Aston Martin to take on the damn rhinos going with you, taking you out rather than against you. But that when Razor has that car, it's like he's Super Saiyan or something, you know. And I figured out playing this so much at work, you know, work was boring, but I figured out what I did was there was the one sprint race you had to complete to get to Razor that you got 25 grand for. It only took like 5 minutes at max. It was the one that went by the stadium and all the way through North Rosewood, and you got 25 grand every time. And I did that race over and over and over, and I figured out the math. You needed like 400 grand to buy the Carrera GT and then get all the engine parts that you needed. And the second time I beat it, I had that Carrera GT, and the drag race was the only one that I could not beat on the first time. But the two circuits you had to beat Razor, the two sprints, I don't remember exact layout, but the drag race was the only one I did not beat Razor on the first time. And that Carrera GT showed that Beamer up, you know. And what I want to see in the new one, I know that, like I said, that F-150, that just threw me off. Like, I live here in Texas, and all these rednecks have trucks like that. An F-150 is not a car or truck that should be in a racing game. It didn't fit. It doesn't fit. And I want to see, I do miss the SUV concept like they had in Underground 2, but I want to see cars like all the cars in the game should be made for races, and then they should have the SUVs for high-speed chases. Yeah, I just realized that rhymed. Huh. Because like I know like, and what I want to see is like Porsches. No car in this game was made for off-roading. However, you could go on the grass with like a Corvette or the Dodge Viper or the Lambos, and you drive normal like a truck or SUV. Like, no, you don't. I want to see somebody drive one of those cars on grass. No. It pissed me off how like all the Porsches, because the Porsches were my favorite cars in Most Wanted, and they were wonderful at races, you know, but they sucked in police chases. You couldn't push past the roadblocks. I want to see them fix that. You know, make these all the cars. I know they can't make them all the same, but at least make them specialize them for like races or police chases. You know, I want to see them implement the what Grand Theft Auto did. You know, like if you run into somebody, your windows are going to smash. I mean, how fast you're going, and so are their windows going to smash. Like Grand Theft Auto and Need for Speed should hook up because they need to do that. You know, I also hope that they remake Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald because that would be. I would buy another Game Boy. You know, I recently just sold mine on eBay because I didn't play anymore. But man, I really like that they are remaking these childhood games of mine because you know I never want to grow up. I will act like a kid till when I'm 40 years old. I mean, video games aren't for just kids, but I never want to grow up. And the fact that they're remaking Need for Speed Most Wanted, like, I am truly happy. And I can't wait till October. I will probably, well, I won't because of the prestige and whatnot, but I will play Black Ops 2 and Most Wanted remake equal time because I can't tell you how high this is on my list. Like, I'm really excited, looking forward to October. If you have any comments or want to respond to me, answer me down below, and tell me what you think about the remake, and you guys take it easy.